everybody, Tanya Peterson with John L. Scott Market Center and Next Level Real Estate Pacific Northwest. So I am bringing to you the second segment of my project, and that is with the most amazing lender ever that I've worked with, Dawn Robbins with Nations Lending. She's going to talk to us and tell us, oh my gosh, our minds are going to blow because there's so much to know about lending, especially what's going on right now. So she's going to tell us everything that we can possibly absorb about lending that you need. So Dawn, welcome.
Yes, cheers.
To my project.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are so welcome. So will you tell everybody, how long have you been in the lending business?
25 years. I just had my anniversary in January. It was the day after Martin Luther King Day that I started with a very large company, and really found my niche. I loved it. I didn't know anything about lending beforehand, and just kind of hit the ground running.
So what made you decide to go into lending?
I know this is going to sound ridiculous. I actually got in through a contract agency, and they said, hey, we have this employer in Hillsborough that is looking for help, and so I got in. I was ground floor. I was one of their very first customer service peeps on their team, and at that time there were calls that were holding 3 hours. People were just happy to get on the phone with somebody. They just, and they're just like, thank God you answered, So that's how I started out, and you just learned the systems, learned everything about it just as we ran along. So. But I love it, love everything about it, love helping clients with buying a house and all that.
Oh, that's amazing. So my other big question is, because I get asked this a lot, lender versus broker. What is the difference?
And
it seems
why?
like it's why? It's like a battle between the sexes.
Right. Well, I mean, there's benefits to both,
okay.
Right? A lender, and I'm going to throw in one more, bank, because there's bank, lender, and broker.
Okay.
A bank, they only have their own programs. So as a bank, you're doing your standard Fannie, Freddie, conforming. They might have a few jumbo products, but they're usually somewhat restrictive in that they have overlays within their guidelines. A lender has a little bit more availability of different products. So whether it be the programs for the jumbos that they actually have investors that buy their loans, and or they hold their own loans like we do. We hold our own loans. And then they also have available broker products. So the unique things like the bank statement loans and ITIN loans and construction, rehab, everything's available.
Okay.
A broker, they are an independent, and they actually package the deal and send it to the individual investor. So, for instance, one of them that's really popular is United Wholesale.
Okay.
Caliber used to be in that realm, New Res. There's a lot of different broker companies out there. They buy those loans directly from the broker. So the broker kind of sets their own fees and programs, but they are beholden to that company to fund their stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, we all do the same thing.
Right.
Ultimately, it's a vehicle on how to get the house or how to help someone refinance their home and save money. But it's just different avenues in how we go about it.
Okay, so well, not everybody, should never say everybody. Somebody said don't ever say everybody. But when people are looking and they're shopping, they're shopping for a lender, broker. I mean, what exactly are they looking for, do you think?
I think the most important thing is find the person that's going to really focus on you.
Right.
Find the person that is going to be able to make sure you fully understand all the ins and outs of the program and understand what it is that you're getting into. Because it's not just, I always say, just because you can doesn't mean you should. You want to make things that are comfortable and the payment's comfortable. So making sure that it's a situation that you're not going to be, throwing darts a year from now because you're in a house that's too expensive or uncomfortable.
Right, exactly. Which, yeah, you never want to be married to the house that long. I mean,
Right.
that's, yeah.
And I think the biggest part of that is with the different products and things out there, it's control.
So
I
what
think
kind
I'm
of
in that kind of
products,
hybrid where.
what kind of products are there?
Oh
Is it
gosh.
products or is it loan types or is it like kind of both?
There's the main avenues that everybody goes to, like Fannie and Freddie are more the most popular.
Right, everybody's
Um,
heard of both of them.
And we all use the same guidelines with a few overlays. So sometimes a bank may say they don't want to have, they call it ratios, your income being too high in comparison to your payments. So they might restrict that a little bit more.
Okay.
Whereas other products are based on bank statement loans, so it's meant for self-employed clients where they have the income coming in,
Such
but they
as
haven't necessarily.
us.
Yeah, absolutely. You could do something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Where you have the income coming in, you can document it on your bank statements to show that income coming in. So there's different ways to do that.
Okay. So then what's like the other loan types that, your standard home buyer would be calling you up saying, you know what, I just found this house and I really want to buy it and I don't know where to begin and what to do and I was given your name and number and here I am.
It really is tailored to each client because sometimes, and I tend to deal with more of a first-time homebuyer's niche, but sometimes if they are looking at trying to buy a home and they have maybe limited funds available, then we'll look at special programs that allow for 100% financing. If they are a client that has, maybe they were a veteran, we might look at VA, or if we're looking at more rural areas, we might look at USDA. There's pluses and minuses to every program. FHA, we do a lot of that. The nice thing about that is there are options where you can do 100% financing and not have income restrictions. So it's really tailored to each client. There's not a one size fits all. And that's what I see mostly out there when clients are shopping is they're like, oh, well, I just want to get this product. Like right now, a lot of people are saying, do an ARM loan. Oh my gosh. Well, the ARM loans are almost priced as more expensive than a 30-year fixed. So just because you come in asking for something, I take the time to actually go through and break it down and say, is that what we really should be doing?
Right.
So,
and you're educating them, which is what we need to be doing.
Right.
So they understand the process. So with the process, I mean, what are some of the things that they are given a list of things that they have to get ready, that they should be getting ready if they're even considering, talking to you? What should they be like prepping and getting ready?
I try to keep it simple.
Okay.
There's usually it's pay stubs for the last 30 days.
Okay.
That someone who is employed with a company, usually pay stubs, maybe a W-2. I really like year-end pay stubs because if there's anything like bonuses or overtime, I can use those numbers to calculate it out. If they are self-employed, it should be taxes. And then their approximate account balances. We'll get copies of their bank statements, that sort of thing, to really show not only what their income is and the true income. We'll document what their assets are, the funds that they're bringing to the closing, and that way we can really tailor a program that's for them.
So if they have issues affecting any part of that, do you help them through that process?
Oh, absolutely.
Like recovery, a credit recovery.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We don't say the word repair, we say maneuver. I say maneuver. Well, credit repair, you have to be a licensed credit repair person. And
Okay.
I actually do have a group that I work with that I refer out. They are out of Colorado. They're amazing. And they really will look at the client's situation. But a lot of times it's simply just talking through it. Maybe it's paying something down, $500, and it will impact their score in a positive way. We have analytical tools that we can put the credit report into, and it tells us if you do this, this, and this, then you'll have this positive outcome.
Okay.
But in general, for credit, don't close accounts. If you're going to pay something off, talk to your lender first, because sometimes paying off, say, a collection, you would think you need to pay off a collection. Sometimes paying off a collection can be your oldest debt, and if it's paid off and it goes away, which that can happen, then it can actually lower your credit score.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, so many things factor into it. It really is case by case. So, wait till you actually pull the credit. Talk to somebody before you actually pay things off. Don't just assume that you have to pay off things.
Huh, interesting. I didn't know about that part of it.
Yeah.
So the only thing I really knew is if you're going to be shopping around, to do it all within 30 days because everybody's going to pull your credit. So.
Right. And there actually is some, it's the shopping window, they
Right.
say. There actually is a shopping window, but the interesting part is after that 30-day window, that credit inquiry goes back on. So those credit inquiries do still count, they just don't in that 30-day window.
Oh, okay.
So it's like when you're shopping for a car, and sometimes you will go to certain, I won't say names, but locations where they pull your credit and they'll do 20 inquiries. During that window it doesn't count, but 30 days later they've got 20 inquiries shown on the credit report. That can lower their score significantly.
How long does it take for somebody to get their score back up after like some of those inquiries or anything? I mean,
It depends.
It depends. Okay.
Right, and it depends on what other positive factors that you have. So for instance, let's say you have, one of my favorite things to use is credit utilization. So you have credit cards, and if it's a $3,000 credit card, let's say you have a balance of $300. Then you have what's called a 10% credit utilization. So that would actually be a positive.
Okay.
Once you hit that 50% mark, I call it flatline, because at that 50% mark, it's not helping you, it's not hurting you. And then once you go above that 50% mark, then it starts impacting negatively.
Okay.
So credit utilization is usually the thing that we can impact the most.
Okay.
If you have no credit cards, that's like taking and getting a C. So if you think of like your credit scores or your grades in high school, A+ would be 100%. If you don't have any credit utilization, you're taking a 30% hit, you're already at a C, and that you have just started right out of the hangar.
Wow.
So credit cards are important. There are some, like Dave Ramsey always says, get rid of your credit cards. The secret is pay it down, pay it off, but don't close them. Leave them open so that your credit utilization is still there.
Oh, okay. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for coming and talking to us about this, about the lending process, because I have buyers that are like, I don't know where to begin. I don't know what to do. I'm like, so have you talked to a lender? No, I'm afraid. They're afraid to make that next step because it's almost like a commitment.
Right.
And I keep telling them, like, you know, you're not giving her an engagement ring. You can talk to her. It's not a forever thing, but at least you have at least made that step to open up the communication, figure out what you need to do, because you might not even be able to purchase right now, but work towards purchasing.
Create a game plan. I have people that are on 6-month, 1 year, even 2-year game plans. So that can be a huge benefit. Put a toe in the water, have a conversation. You're not committing to anything. I don't even have to pull credit to have a conversation. So do that. I also have a really good website. It's called To Guide You Home, spelled out, toguideyouhome.com. So go on there. There's a ton of videos that gives you information, and that can help clients as well.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Tanya Peterson from John L. Scott Market Center. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye-bye.